Hi. So sorry that I sound a little bit strange. My throat is a little bit better, but it did change a little bit my voice. I'm so sorry. Um about that. I struggled quite a lot this weekend. It was super painful, but thankfully I was able to finally get meds on Monday. Like I went to the doctor and yeah, I'm no longer in pain. Yay! So yeah, that's why. Oh yeah, thank you so much for 5k. As promised, I will open a sticker club. How it works is that every month I basically make a design, turn it into a sticker, and mail it to you every month. I think the startup price would be 8 euros, but I'm not entirely sure. And I think after 5 months, I will give to every member a sticker book. This sticker club also gives you 15% off my shop all the time. So yeah, stay tuned for a sticker club launch. I think I might start this month maybe? Or maybe May, so it's a little bit more organized. And the membership will be on Ko-Fi. But yeah, thank you so much for 5k. Yay! Anyways, to the diary now. So apparently this is like my last week before I go to spring break. So yeah, next week is my spring break, which is pretty awesome. I've been wanting this break for a long time. So yay! But since we just started this fucking uni vlog like last week, I'm not sure what to do. Obviously I'll do this week. I think during my spring break I will make like a regular video. No vlog for that week, but at least there might be a video coming up. So either you guys will see either a video where I show all my supplies digitally and traditionally, or how I design characters. But yeah, feel to have any suggestions for it or something, I could probably do it. Anyways, to today's fucking uni vlog. Not gonna lie, this week has been very rough on me. I know, shocker. I mean, for me it's not a shocker, but for you guys might be a shocker because I just started the series. But yeah, ever since I started uni, it's been very rough. I've had like multiple like bad days or bad weeks, then like good weeks or good days. So whatever. This is one of our first bad ones, at least in the diary. So how it started this week was, like I said, all weekend my throat was been really bad. So obviously Monday is gonna be, still hurting. What I did on Monday was actually not go to uni. I had this appointment that I really need to go, so I ended up, skipping kind of. But I did had a, how do you say it? Justified? Yeah, I think it's justified. Well, whatever. I have an excuse to why, I couldn't go to class. I won't get in trouble for that. But yeah, it was pretty complicated, and it ended up like literally missing like the whole day basically. Meanwhile, I was doing the appointment. I did work on a video that already came out, which is the short film one. I can talk about that one actually, so we can fill up the space. On the first times I actually like recorded this uni vlog, I actually talked my experience on making that short film. The first one was when I did like a stream uni vlog, but I ended up, not using it at all because it was just so messy. So yeah, I'll let you guys watch this instead. So obviously very rough, duh. And fun fact, I didn't write anything, I just went ahead and did the storyboard. So yeah, everything was just, super rough, just to get the idea, So far it doesn't have audio, and funny thing, it's 2 minutes long. It's probably gonna be shorter because I probably didn't time it very well. But yeah, I was supposed to like maximum just do like 15 seconds because I was doing it all by myself. But fucking 2 minutes already. So my plan is to just kind of like have it as a animated comic. How like just so much tweeting basically. Like it's not gonna be frame by frame, And then I'm also gonna like color it a little bit. You know how like some people like have like bits of colors on their storyboard? Well, mine's gonna be the same, but it's gonna be like shades of blue. Alright, enough talking. So yeah, it zooms in, shows me, and then me just walking. And then this would be kind of like my office or, I don't know, classroom, I guess. And I'd be like, I should make a plushie. That would be so fun. Shit, I'm broke. Let's do it myself. Now this is how he was born. Yeah. You know, this is supposed to be you guys, but like, I don't really have a name for you guys. So if you guys have any name suggestions, go ahead. For the meantime, I'll just call you plushies. Hee my little sweet little plushies. Anyways, yeah, whatever. So yeah, she'll be back and whatever. And then guys are like, oh, hi. And she's like, hi. Look, I made a plushie. And they're like, oh, nice. And they see it and they're like, ugh. And then she like, you know, goes like explaining how it went. And everybody just ignored her. And then sad edgy moment. So I got stuck after I did this part. So, you know, I really like the concept of like plushies coming to life. You know, that's Toy Story shit, but I wanted a little bit of like, I don't know, comforting stuff. So yeah, it's a little like vintage, edgy-ish, but whatever. And my idea was just to like, I don't know, him is like, hey, let's make them pay type of stuff. Basically spoiled this short film right now, but whatever. But then I talked with a friend of mine. He was like, nah. And also I just wasn't sure either because I didn't want it to be too edgy and too like a cry of help, especially during the scene. Before, like, it was just her, like, you know, showing the plushies and being like, oh. But yeah, at the time I wasn't sure I was gonna, you know, do it. So I did this part just going with the flow, and yeah, it's a little personal. So yeah, then I was like kind of blocked, like how the fuck do I end this? So they told me time and time again. I showed some people this stuff and asked them for like feedback. Asked them like, hey, do I end it like wholesome or do I end it like, I don't know, kind of like violent? Because I kind of do want to do a little bit of violence. But at the end of the day, they end up telling me just to do the safest option, which is just them being like, oh, forget about them. Let's just go eat ice cream. And I don't know, like, as sweet as it is, I felt like it was just too vanilla. And even this, like, story was way too simple. I felt like to serve justice, you know? Even though it's, like, my first one ever, I still want it to be good. So yeah, so again, I went with the flow and created this. Another fun fact, there's gonna be some voice acting. So I forgot to tell you guys, but there's a storyboard I made like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was thinking, since I'm gonna be the only one, you know, doing this short film, might as well just recycle one of my animations. And I have this one that's really good. You guys can watch it on my Newgrounds, and it's basically a hell ad, and I really like it because a friend of mine did the voice acting for me. It was just like very spontaneous, like I just asked him and he was like, sure. And he did a really good job. So once I did the storyboard, it was like amazing. This is what I go with, like the edginess. That one, like, yes, it's super fun and everything, but like I screw up the jokes a little bit
and I don't know, like it just felt very like has-been hotel, fucking hell of a boss humor. Like, you know, it's kind of expected because it's hell, but like it gets into a territory where it's like cringe. So I was trying so hard like not to get into that with this one. So that's why, you know, I was just having such a hard time doing this one. But yeah, I don't know when they're gonna send me the audio, but once they do, and once I do this, I do this or will finish the storyboard, I'll put it onto YouTube and you guys can watch it. I think a mutual of mine is gonna do the voice of Plushie, and obviously I'm gonna do my own voice acting of me. But yeah. So some parts are just gonna have text because of this guy only. Because you know, I didn't write a script, so I just like write it around here. But yeah, I'm like not sure what I'm gonna put for them to like say basically. I guess I'll just improvise. So it sounds more genuine or something, I don't know. And this last scenes, I did this like last week. It's like, yeah, it was on class and like a little bit after class, I think. Yeah, so as you guys might see, I ended up doing both wholesome and also, you know, the revenge, because I couldn't help it. I love that revenge, you know. So yeah, really like how it turned out, and super silly, and yeah, so I kind of changed a little bit at the end, but whatever. I guess I was just more motivated to do it, because before I was just like so unsure about it. But yeah, once I finished it, I was very lost on if this is good or not. And class already finished, and even in class, like I was completely alone. Most of my classes were, you know, in groups obviously, and they were doing, you know, their short film, but like in a different place. Some of the other classes we were all like in the same classroom, but this time I was just, you know, by myself. And you know, I don't mind it, but once I finished it, I was needing feedback really bad, and I asked my 2D teacher to like give me some feedback, but sadly he was just, you know, gonna leave to pick up his kid, so he couldn't give me the feedback. He said to like, you know, he'll tell me like tomorrow, which is like I'm gonna have class with him. So I was like, okay, sure. But yeah, I was there, and then yeah, I was supposed to do my perspective homework, but I don't know, I felt a little tired. Not really tired, but I don't know, I just wanted to relax a little, so I ended up doing a little doodle that I didn't finish it on the same day, but I was close to, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'd stay there after class, and my uni closes pretty early. Like I finish at 2:30, and they close like the whole place at 5. So yeah, at 5 obviously I had to ditch. But funny coincidence is that the teacher that's doing Japanese animation was there, and just when I was working, he said like, hi, and like in front of me it was the classroom where they're teaching, you know, and you know, it caught me off guard obviously, and you know, just like, oh, how nice, because I haven't seen him in a while. Last time I saw him was, I don't know, at the entrance when I was like working on homework again after school, but it was a very small chat. So you know, I was doing my thing and was about to leave, because obviously they told me to leave. It's fucking 5, So I was like, damn, he says hi. I should probably, you know, say hi too, but like I have to do this thing, and you know, it's like, oh, I'm not sure. So, you know, got my courage and ended up doing it. And oh my god, thank god I did. I did, and it was obviously really cool to see how they were working and everything. They basically use Clip Studio Paint to animate, and I don't know if you guys know this guy on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. I don't know. There's this guy that like shows like the technique of like anime and stuff. He's right. I mean, no doubt, but like he's right. Like people do animate on Clip Studio Paint, and they fucking draw pixelated. I don't know why. I know why, obviously, but yeah, instead of using vectors, they use pixelated line art, so it colors like better basically. So there, I saw it in my own eyes. The Japanese animation thingy is actually a master's, and I'm just like trying to get all the opportunity I can. That's why I'm doing it for the 4th year. Otherwise, I could have probably done it as a master thing, but I'm not paying more. This uni's pretty expensive anyway, so that's why I'm doing it as my 4th year. So yeah, and since it's very new, like there's only like 6 students so far, but yeah, I was there obviously, and really cool to see them like work. Very interesting. And I was like, you know what? This is like the best opportunity to get some feedback on the thing I was working on. So I asked him like, hey, can you give me some feedback on this thing? I'm doing this like short film from one of my class, and I really need help on this. And said like, yeah, sure. And I showed him this basically, because I just finished it. And most of everybody that I was gonna show it to was obviously busy, and also just like, you know, doing their own thing. Even like before, well, basically when class was ending, I was gonna show it to my teacher, but she was like, oh, I'm running a bit late. Maybe if you can send it online, I can check it out. So yeah, it was good that I showed my, well, it's not my Japanese teacher, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I showed it to him, and surprisingly, he liked it. So I was kind of confused at first, because I thought he was gonna talk about the story, but no, he ended up talking more about the composition, and that's like what I was kind of basically missing. Because even though I showed some of my friends, classmates, the storyboard, they were barely like giving me feedback about it. They said like, oh, it looks so good, and like, yeah, thanks, but I also do need like, you know, what can I make it better, you know? And this teacher, you know, gave me that, and he asked me like my inspirations and like what I use for the scenes and stuff, and basically he told me to like get more dynamic compositions and stuff, and like copy from, you know, so it makes it a little bit interesting and stuff, like the formula of compositions. And I 100% agree, because believe it or not, some of these poses, or well, compositions, are very flat, and one of the main reasons why they're flat is obviously I was trying my best to get all of this stuff as soon as possible before I would forget, obviously. But you know, for example, when they were talking, I could have done like the shoulder here, you know how they do it like in movies and stuff. Same thing as when they're eating ice cream here. But yeah, and he also said that like when I was doing this part, it seemed like a fucking horror movie. I get that, but it's mostly like low, because you know, she like threw the plushie, you know. I don't know if you guys know Paranoia Agent, but yep, that's my inspiration. This is fucking Maromi right there. Especially that one episode. That episode really touched me. So that's like my main source of like doing this. And even at the end, okay, well, not really at the end, but when I was like saying my work on it before that class, I was rewatching some of the Paranoia Agent episodes where Maromi shows, just to get like a little bit of like inspiration to see how how some of the conversations would go and stuff. They're not obviously the same or whatever, but it helped me get like a little bit of like how I can make it more, you know, interesting, the character. But yeah, I really like how it turned out, and I hope to have it finished. I'm being ambitious here, but maybe this week. I do have to turn it in next week though, but whatever. I'm happy with just like the storyboard being completely finished. Everything else is just a matter of cleaning up, which is what I already started doing a little bit. Like for example, this scene is done, this scene is done, this scene is done, and then I'm like around here, and I already have like the colors on how I want it to be. So yeah, but yeah, if it wasn't because of that guy, I don't know, I would probably be a little bit down, obviously, because, you know, like I said earlier, like all my teachers are like, oh, sorry, I need to do this thing and stuff like that, and they give me very little time to do the feedback. But every time they do, oh my god, it's super helpful. It's a shame that they take too long, you know, teaching my other classmates, but like, it's whatever. But yeah, once I got the feedback of him, oh my god, this is what I needed. And it boosted a lot of my self-esteem. Duh. And he said like, if you ever need feedback, you know, just ask me. And I was like, really? Really? So I asked his, you know, contact info. And now we have his contact info. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And after I left, I sent him like, hey, it's the girl that showed you the storyboard. And funny enough, he replied like super quickly, and he said like, hey, I'm the guy that forgot what paranoia is. He obviously knows. I mean, dog, he's fucking Japanese. He just doesn't recognize like the English name of it, of course. And it's also just really old. Oh yeah, fun fact. This fucking dude knows Spanish. Yeah. This whole conversation, and even, you know, when we met, Spanish only. Obviously he knows English, but yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive how good Spanish is. Fucking amazed. Yeah, very awesome. Yeah.
Anyway, so when I was getting like into that deadline, I got sabotaged sadly with a lot of stuff. So I wasn't really able to fully have it how I wanted to. So as how you're seeing it now is just how I finished it literally on Monday. Before, and when I had to turn it in, I had to put it as like just a sketch, cause I just couldn't do it. I made way too many fucking scenes and way too fucking much like everything, and it was straight up impossible, even though that day I literally didn't go to class just to finish it. And yeah, fucking suck ass. But yeah, now it's finished, and now it's not completely like forgotten or discarded, because usually my projects get like that, but not this one. And what's so awesome is that this is my first like really long animation ever. Before it was always like 1 minute something, but this one's 2 fucking minutes. And even though it's not like fully animated, still obviously impressive. But yeah, back before this, my storyboards, the longest ones are usually like a minute to a minute and 30, I think. Yeah, so yeah, very amazing achievement. So while I was in my appointment, you know, like I said, I was basically finishing it, and my setup looked like straight up ass, cause you know, I was waiting in fucking for my queue or whatever, and I had to have this god awful setup where I would have to have my computer on my lap, the tablet on the fucking computer, and like on the side my fucking, you know, connectors and everything just hanging in there, and on my lap the fucking controller. And since I've already screwed on so many cables, I didn't fucking risk it with putting the HDMI, so I had to basically use my screen tablet without the fucking, projection. So it's basically using like a regular tablet type of thing. And yeah, it's just very, very dumb. But it's practical when you don't have the space. And in fact, I actually, kind of had it like that too when I was doing art history. Today as in like Wednesday, by the way. So yeah, I did obviously a lot of progress while I was waiting. And at the end of the day, it ended up being something that I would kind of have to wait for them to call me. So whatever. I'm kind of glad like that I missed, and I also that I don't miss. Like, I'm glad but also not so glad, because at first I thought I was missing my sculpting class because I have it on Mondays, but for some reason they changed the schedule. So instead of having sculpting, I had drawing animation. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad because I didn't miss any important knowledge of ZBrush and stuff. Yeah, and by the time I finished with the appointment or kind of had to go, it was already like too fucking late for me to go to class, because it was fucking like 1:50 and where I was is like literally 15 minutes away, so it would be kind of a waste of time to go, because I would just have like less than 30 minutes to be in class. So I ended up just going to a doctor's appointment. I already had scheduled for my throat, obviously, at 4:30, but since I came earlier, they were able to attend me obviously early, and it was really, really good. Oh yeah, well, I was at the appointment before. I did go to finally the pharmacy and get like some good like medicine for my throat, and that actually like helped me so much, because last week and like the weekend, I basically had to survive with like drinking a lot of ginger tea, trying to get that weird shit out of my fucking throat. What else? Oh yeah, fucking painkillers, and nothing, it wouldn't go away, and it hurt to swallow, eat, everything. It was fucking awful. But finally, like Monday and Tuesday and today, it finally like the pain stopped. And I still sound a bit weird, but whatever. I don't know. At least I'm not in pain. After my medical appointment, I went to a restaurant to eat, because I literally just ate like yogurt the whole fucking day. So I went to a restaurant and eat, and I mostly just went there instead of just going home and cook myself something, because I was having really rough time. I had a really shitty argument with my parents, so that cheered me up a lot, and it was so delicious. It was basically a hamburger but with egg in it. So yummy, and with french fries and mustard. But yeah, that was so good. I was very happy eating that. And yeah, then I just went home and chillaxed. Actually, I didn't chillax. I had to continue with the fucking short film, because by then I didn't finish it. I finished it literally like at 10 p.m. I was also just really tired, because haven't been able to rest at all this weekend because of the fucking sore throat. So yeah, then I finished it, and I upload the uni vlog and the short film. The reason why I took so long uploading both is because I don't know if you've noticed, but I like to put like a rainbow in all my thumbnails, like organized as a rainbow. And the short film, since it was very blue, I wanted the thumbnail to be blue, obviously. And the uni one could be any color, so it has to be like first the short and then the uni vlog, even though the uni vlog was literally finished on Friday, I think. Yeah, I think I finished it on Friday, like the whole video. Part of just the thumbnail. Tuesday, bad luck again. I didn't turn on my fucking alarms, so I fucking overslept and went to class a little bit late. But I did show up. I went to my 3D animation class. Basically worked on the homework I showed you last time. Here's a little bit of how it's looking right now. I kind of have to finish it before the 15th, so like next week. So we might have an art stream me working on that specific homework. Yeah, and then after that class, I had the sculpting class. And the sculpting class is on the same place as the 3D animation one, so it was great. I could, continue working while not having to move and shit, and, switch really fast with the other class because it's all, in computers and stuff. So yeah, on sculpting, it was a bit rough, not gonna lie. Teacher, goes all way too fucking fast and, took a bit of time, setting up the stuff. So when he was actually lecturing and stuff, he was doing obviously way too quickly, and I don't know, it was just complicated, I guess. Couldn't really follow through because how fast everything was. Honestly, I did my best, and what we have to do is sculpt a Pokemon or Pokemon looking ass creature. So I basically showed my teacher between this and this, since this one is a little bit complex, because it's my first sculpting thing ever. I decided to go with this one, fucking Kenny as a Chikawa creature. I really love how it turned out, and yeah, and the first thing we had to do is do the basic shapes, and as basic as it is, it's just fucking circles. I mean, not circles, squares. Huh? What? Cylinder? No. A sphere! So basically, I had to build it up into the most simplest forms, just like how you would do it on drawing. So, make the creature with just a bunch of spheres, and, of course, built it up. But the thing I struggle the most with fucking ZBrush is that I'm so used to the commands on Maya to move things around that on this one's completely different, and it just makes me fuck up everything. And the teacher literally thought how to save the fucking file literally when class was ending, so it was awful. At least I have the basic shapes done. I'll probably do it if I'm able to manage to get ZBrush, because I still don't have it. Please guys, please, I'm begging you, give me ZBrush. I need ZBrush. It's too expensive for me. Talking about money, I don't have any money right now. Spend all my fucking money. Emergency wise and also just stupid wise. It fucking sucks, man. So more than ever, I do need you guys to get into that sticker club, or at least commission me, or I don't know, just donate me. But yeah, I would highly appreciate it. Literally yesterday, I bought 2 bags of vinegar chips. And now I'm completely broke. I was sad yesterday, so. Anyways, I did that, and then after class, I had to go pick up my grades, and guess what? I did even worse than my first trimester. Obviously my fault, but also just sabotage with just so many fucking things. Fucking sucks. So much balls. And yeah, it took literally 3 hours talking with my director about my grades and shit. It was very hard, and I probably would have recorded yesterday for the uni vlog, but I was so fucking distraught from the conversation I had yesterday. Until today, I'm able to give you guys an update. But yeah, don't worry, guys. Hopefully, I mean, I'm basically on my knees and praying to God that I'm gonna do better in this trimester, and I think I highly will. The problem with this trimester is, like I said, just a lot of fucking sabotage, and obviously things that, you know, my fault. But we don't need to get into that. It gets a little too personal. But yeah, all I'm hoping is that next trimester I do better, and I probably will do better, because last trimester, either way, like, some of the subjects were fucking difficult. Fucking perspective literally had me as a chokehold. And, you know, this one is way smoother, even though, who knows, because I have like entirely new subjects and stuff, like storyboard and sculpting, that I haven't talked to you guys about actually. But yeah, I hope that the sabotage I got during my first and second trimester will hopefully, please, I'm begging that like they finally get resolved, because most of the sabotage that happens to me is very out of my control, and it fucking sucks. Like, I try my best really to make things work, and I feel like this couple of months has been like the hardest I've worked on ever. Like, ever. I'm doing like my 200 fucking % here, and I'm burning out a lot. Well, was burning out. I'm not burned out now, but I burned out a lot during this week's, and I mean during this month. So yeah, I kind of saw it coming. Funny enough, one of the subjects that I was doing really bad on my first trimester, I actually passed. But yeah, good thing. But yeah, pretty bumped out by my grades. Saw it coming, but yeah, I need to get my shit together. Okay, now about today. Today, like I said previously, I had art history. So obviously took my notes digitally like how I usually do, and tried to record the teacher while he speaks. Fun fact, the fucking principal of this university is the same guy that teaches art history. So, yeah. Class was a bit painful than usual, because my controller was fucking up, and like the shortcuts were not working, so I had to do it like all from scratch, and obviously that made me delay a little bit with taking notes. But since I was recording the whole lecture, you know, I have a bit of backup. But then I eventually, you know, managed to get caught up and organize my notes. I was really hoping to like draw a little bit for myself in this class, since I didn't even draw anything on Tuesday and Monday. I mean Monday, yeah, but it was only the fucking short film. So but somehow my drawing class got fucking canceled-ish. Like, the teacher got sick and didn't show up, and almost everybody was about to fucking just leave, literally without like asking our fucking principal about it. He was like literally right there, and everybody was like, yeah, he's not coming, so I'm just gonna go home. Like, what? Can't do that. Like, you know how it works here. Like, you need to wait until like what they tell us. Like, you can't fucking decide that. What if they take attendance and shit? Anyways, it ended up being as a study hall, and he did give us a bit of work to do. So we basically had to do this, because we're doing anatomy in this second trimester. So I was very lucky that the teacher let us work on the project digitally, because on today's class it was supposed to be just theoretical, so he was just gonna give us like explanation and stuff rather than like actually drawing stuff. So almost everybody didn't have like the equipment to, you know, do the exercise. So yeah, I was very, very glad because it turned out really, really good, and I just feel like I just draw way, way better digitally than I do traditionally. Complicated stuff. Honestly, I feel like I would have probably not fucking failed perspective if I did it digitally, because my issue with fucking perspective is just working with a fucking ruler and like the smudginess and like just fucking it up all the time. Like, you don't know how much fucking time I spent doing just one fucking homework. It's fucking awful. Anyways, so I did that, and I was able to actually like work on this thumbnail for, you know, this video. By the time this gets uploaded, it's already finished and, you know, posted. So yeah. And I turned out, it looks so pretty. And at first I was having really like struggle trying to get those colors, but the way it helped me was reference the thumbnail I did for the practice art streams, because I fucking love how that thumbnail turned out. So yeah. It's a matter of just playing around with the hue, saturation, and luminosity thingy, and tonal correction. Hi. Finally, way better. My voice is normal now. Well, at least I hope I do. This recording might be a little bit wonky because I'm straight up getting ready for uni, and I had the time yesterday to record, so I'm gonna do it real quick right now. But anyways, Thursday was one of the best days out of all this week. Yeah. So on Thursday I had storyboard and 2D animation, and they were very fun classes. I had a lot of blast. On storyboard, we're working on this project where we have to like come up with a story with just one single like photograph. So he gave us between 5 photos to choose from, and you know what's so funny? Just when I was gonna ask like my friends like, oh, which one are you doing? And I just saw that he's doing the same one I'm doing. And then I looked to another friend, and he's also doing the same one. Oh my god, it's really funny. Between us two, we're doing like completely different stories, even though we're using the same image. I was actually a little bit behind because last week when I had storyboard, I didn't show up because I was depressed or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, no, that class was so fun. I fucking love my teacher. He's actually like an animator that worked on, or I think a storyboard artist that worked on the series Winx. I'm not sure like if it's the old one or the new one, but yeah, it's very, very cool, honestly. I'm sorry if from now it's gonna be very strange how I talk with you guys, but I will show some speed paints and how Thursday went, so you know, you don't always have to look at my fucking face, because I get that it's a bit boring after like, you know, so long, and you know, especially because this video, it might be very, very long. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be yet, but I know that at least it's gonna be more than 10 minutes. Anyways, so like I said, I was a little bit late to what's going on storyboard animation, but I found out it's like the work that we're doing, it's nothing too difficult or too out of the ordinary for me to do. It's actually really simple. You know, this probably wouldn't look so strange if I'm doing like a face reveal type of thing, and you know, with my webcam, but I don't like showing my face. So like I said, we have to do this this photo. You have to like tell a story with just one photo that he gave us, this one. And like I said earlier, I can't believe 2 of my classmates are doing the same one. Mine is gonna be basically he jumps over the grave and he basically, while he's like jumping, there's gonna be like a zombie fucking arm just hit him in the nuts. And yeah, that's basically it. He gets hit by the nuts, he falls down, obviously in misery, and that's it. Because the exercise is mostly a way to practice compositions and storyboards, and obviously tell a story. But from what I saw on the examples and stuff, doesn't have to be anything like too crazy, and it's only like 7 drawings that you have to do, Gwen, you know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't thought much of it until I saw my other friend's story. So my friend is doing that, you know, he jumps over, he's like all happy, and then he gets fucking jump scared by a skeleton, and then he obviously freaks out and like runs away. Wait a minute, I just realized both of my friends did like jump scare and just run away. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, he did that, and I really like the style. It was so good. It's so funny because like at first his style looked like Studio Ghibli, but then when like the character, you know, did some like crazy expressions, it started looking like fucking Looney Tunes or something like that, or like Disney type of style with like Goofy and shit. It was just so funny. And then my other friend, his story is that, you know, he jumps over, but then he falls. He doesn't land like the other guy. And when he like, you know, gets up, he sees that the grave he jumped over is actually him. And, you know, he sees like the date and everything. So he basically died while doing the jump. So he's like, oh, what the fuck? And just runs away. So yeah, how silly. Way later on, I called my friend from Sweden, my ex-roommate actually, and I told him about like what happened. It's so funny how he said it. He said like, if you want to stick out, you should like make him jump over the grave and then like go like through the floor and like go to fucking hell or something. And he'd be like, what? And the way he was describing it was like a goddamn fucking like story plot and shit. I was like, god damn. That's what you got from like, you know, me telling you because he hasn't even seen the image. He just knows that it's a guy jumping over a fucking grave. So, and my first thought was just, I want to hit him in the nuts. I don't know, it's just so funny to me. Yeah, and before I knew like what the homework was about, I knew it was like, you know, practice the compositions and stuff, like the rule of thirds, and, you know, put things very proportionately and stuff. But since I finished already my storyboard, I said like, why can't I just reuse like that instead? And, you know, I can't, because the point of the homework is that it's with the picture that he gave me, so obviously I have to start from scratch, and it's not much of an issue to do, so yeah, it's not that bad, you know. And before that, I was talking to my teacher, my storyboard teacher, and I told him about like my short film, and he was really happy about it. I'm really interested in seeing it. So, hi teacher. Just kidding. I don't know if he's gonna see this video. I doubt. Same thing with my other teachers that I mentioned you guys here. At least one knows. But tell you guys later. Anyways, so yeah, I gave him like my YouTube channel so he can check out my storyboard. He's like, yeah, I'll check it out. Thank you. But he saw like a little bit anyways before, you know, watch it all. He just didn't hear like the music and stuff. But from what he saw, it looked pretty cool. And apparently he'd like never used Flash before. He has only used like Toon Boom, Harmony and stuff. And I was like, damn, you never used like anime? Like you don't know much about anime? That's crazy. And I get that anime's like very outdated, but it's like, I don't know, like it's not that completely forgotten, right? Like fucking My Little Pony used Flash, Foster's Imaginary Friends, you know, that series, that was also in Flash. So I don't know. Either way, I showed him a little bit of how I worked the file, and the way I work on Animate is that everything is like on a symbol. So like the symbol basically is like my scene. I don't know, I'll show you guys later or someday about it. It's a bit complicated to show you without having it on me. Anyways, yeah, so I worked on it, and I also worked on the thumbnail for my short film, because when I uploaded, I was just super rushed and I couldn't really work on the thumbnail. So I feel like it's better just like upload the video and then work on the thumbnail later. And I know it sucks because like when it's first published, it kind of looks like shit and people are not gonna click on it that much. Whenever you put like a thumbnail later on, it like boosts up the video. I'm not entirely sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. So yeah, I mostly just work on both of them at the same time, and I had to wait a little bit until I got confirmation on what exactly I had to do. So while I was doing that, while was I waiting, I was working on a thumbnail, and holy shit, I finished that really quickly. Like I was able to do the storyboard of the homework, obviously, that I had to do in like the thumbnail and like obviously in one sitting, but like I had time to work on both like equally as like much as like I was hoping for, and I was just very impressed by it. That was my storyboard class. I took some notes of what we're talking about, and very awesome stuff. I really love the material he gave us for our, storyboarding. It's so good. I need to actually like organize my notes a little bit because they're a little bit messy, so I need to organize them. Maybe we can do it in a stream or something, I'm not sure. Yeah, then I had 2D animation, and 2D animation, again, I had to talk to a teacher about something. It took a while to like get to me, and while I was waiting, my classmates were doing and stuff. We were in my, got the notes, that like he put me a fucking 0 on one of them. I was like, what the fuck? Why did I got a 0? If the exercise 10 like was never on Teams. Apparently, like it was exercise 9. Was that I did upload it and everything. It's just that I submitted it 4 days late, and because I uploaded it 4 days late, got a fucking 0. Because they're very strict when it comes to deadlines. Like, if you upload it a day later, you get a -1 point, and the more days it goes, the less points you get. And I think the max is 3 or 2 days. So yeah, I was asking for that 0, but yeah, it was very disappointing. And even in the text that in the feedback that my teacher gave me, he was like, now this is very disappointing because most of your work is very, very interesting and you fucking barely like finished it on time, and you submitted it late and you didn't finish it completely. So that's very disappointing to see. And I'm like, yeah, I have no excuse. I'm a fucking piece of shit. I need to seriously work on that, and I am, obviously. Hopefully things will get better. I keep saying that. Anyways, so yeah, I worked on like what we had to do, which is doing a running cycle, and basically had to catch up really, really fast. And I'm surprised I catch up pretty well. I basically obviously started from 0, but everybody else like was already working on the second type of running cycle. We have to do 2 running cycles, one that it goes like in place and one that like goes ahead, running. So I'm behind. I didn't start any of them until yesterday, and as of time of recording, I already finished the walking on place. I just have to clean it up and put like a character in it, because right now it's just the base of the running cycle. That was pretty much it. But I stayed in class because I decided to stay after school to continue working with the homework, and obviously because I was a bit behind, I need to get my shit together. And my plan before my spring break is to finish all of my homework today as of time of recording, Friday or Saturday, and finally enjoy my spring break. I told you guys my uni's been very rough on me, and I definitely need a break. So that's my plan. And as you guys might see on the fucking speed paint, I'm fucking animating it's Chris McLean, the fucking guy from Total Drama. And surprisingly, I got really good references of how to draw him and shit, and that actually helped me a lot. So yeah. And while I was there, I saw my Japanese teacher again. Yay! And you know what's so funny? Our whole interaction yesterday was exactly like the story I told you guys, like the one with the storyboard. I mean, short film. Like exactly the same. He said hi, I said hi. He came over to see my stuff. I checked him out, and then once I was finished and I had to go because it's 5, I was like, he said hi. I should go say hi too, or goodbye, because I'm straight up leaving. And I did, and I'm so glad I did that again. Because when he reached out to me and everything, I was a little bit shy, obviously. But, because I don't know, I get shy. Anyways, so yeah, I went up to him just to see what they were doing, and they were doing in-betweens, and it looks so amazing. Oh my god. And then I asked him about my short film, because I finished it and then I shared it to him, and he didn't say much because it's better saying it in person. So I talked to him about it, and he gave me really good feedback on it, and again, just a very, very hopeful, happy day. Yeah. Basically, he said that the way I tell stories is very similar to how found footage is filmed, and he's right. I didn't notice it because when I was working on it, I was just so focused on getting the story as fast as possible, because I didn't write a script. I just had to work on it. And the more he showed me in samples and stuff, I was like, damn, yeah, you're right, I did that, and I never thought about it or did it intentionally. I was just, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And yeah, it was very, very fun and very, very sweet to hear. And that there's always 2 types of different ways to tell stories. Basically, he said that the way I told my story was obviously from my own eyes, experience, and perspective, just the sake of letting it out to the world. And if people like it, good. If people don't like it, then whatever, I don't care, type of deal. And usually people start out that way, and it's very, very nice to see. And obviously very unique is you tell a very, very interesting story. Later on is when you have to focus on making stories that people want to hear, or people just want to, but then later on you have to make a story for a specific audience. And yeah, I don't know how to do those, but it was just very interesting to think about, because he gave me an example, the way my work right now is Billie Eilish telling her own stories, my own experiences and stuff. But later on, when she got more and more popular, okay, not Billie Eilish, but let's say Taylor Swift, she already did all of that. She already told her experience, and you run out of experience, you don't have much else to say. You basically told everything. So working on something or a story or whatever for a specific audience, so the audience would be for young adults. I don't know, but you get my point, right? So I don't know, it was just very interesting to talk about. And what was so funny is that I was just gonna say bye and just look what they were doing, and that's it. But I stayed a little bit over, obviously, talking, and it was just so good. I love it. I also showed him another storyboard I did, telling me that the timing was a little bit off, and I was like, yeah, I know, it was a little bit on purpose, but not on purpose. I was just mostly running out of time. and I show him like a good example of like how I can really do. I can do timing. It's just that I got the music for that specific storyboard, way way later. Like I finished the storyboard first, and then I got the music, and you know, when I was finishing it and everything, I couldn't really like it. So that's why it looks a little bit off. Whatever, you can always do a remake in the future and, you know, make it look that good, you know. My third best storyboard I've made, and he's like, yeah, you keep that shit again, like where you're telling like your own perspective and shit. And what I find really interesting is that you do like a mix. You did like a mix in the story. You went from like just being in one place, and then like at the end you went outside of that space you were in. Cause at the end of the storyboard, I started, you know, making a bit of a scenario where he's like in the sky and everything, and I was like, you're right. I mean, that part, it took me a while to do, because once I finished that one part, I was like, damn, I'm not sure what to do the next part. So I took a little bit of a break, and when I took the break and animated again, that scene came out that way. But yeah, he basically told me like there's many different types of like way to tell a story, obviously, and to always like, you know, have references on how you want to tell that specific story. Whether you want a lot of camera movement or just like very straight shots and stuff like that, because it obviously conveys like a different mood type of thing. But yeah, I'm very, very happy, very happy. Yeah, so a very hardcore day